What is discipline? Simply put, it means imparting knowledge and skill to teach the child so that they turn out to be emotionally intelligent, well-balanced individuals with positive habits like empathy, care, compassion, and hard work, to name a few. Such individuals find it easy to mingle well in society, learn from and contribute to it, and lead a full and satisfied life. However, it is believed that discipline can be instilled in the child only through severe punishment like beating, spanking, screaming, yelling, etc. But that is mostly never really needed. And when I say this, I speak from personal experience. In reality, there is hardly any instance when you need to resort to severe punishment to teach discipline to your child. Instilling discipline the right way is a topic very dear to my heart. During my post-graduation in pediatrics, I studied these principles from books, later imparted knowledge to my patients, but developed mastery over these only after I applied them in bringing up my own 3 children. I feel pained every time I come across parents who are so lenient that they do not have the guts to stop their kids from doing any mischief, who in the process get totally out of control. The opposite spectrum comprises parents who are extremely strict. The children are very well behaved, but only out of extreme fear of their parents. Ultimately, they are likely to turn rebellious. I felt I had it in me to offer advice in this regard so that disciplining is neither an onerous task for the parents nor is it a scary prospect for the kids. Hi, this is Dr. Kiran Sodhi, welcoming you all to my channel Pediatalks. I will be discussing this topic in 2 parts. In this video, I shall talk about principles of discipline. The second part will pertain to the principles of punishment. Request you to subscribe to my channel so that you get to know whenever I upload a new video, and please like and share this video too so that more parents can benefit from it. Now, without further ado, I will delve straight into the topic. Discipline. Is it necessary? Well, absolutely yes. Teaches children safe versus unsafe, right versus wrong, good behavior versus bad behavior. They learn to accept no. They accept that everything cannot be about them. They start respecting authority, and they know what society expects from them. It teaches them to have a conscience that acts like their internal policeman. Disciplining at home will prevent painful disciplining by society when they grow and go out in the world. Now, the principles of disciplining. There has to be a right balance between authority and permissiveness, that is, strictness and leniency. Both things done in excess are wrong. Over-disciplining by very strict parents, where unbreakable, inconsistent and illogical rules and regulations are expected to be followed, can lead to repression of the child's personality with emotional and behavioral problems later in life. Too much of leniency with hardly any rules in place, with the child getting to do as they please all the time, may result in a personality that is spoilt and entitled with little regard for others. These children may become aggressive with others. They resort to frequent temper tantrums to get what they want. These children may grow up with an undesirable personality as adults and will learn adjustments the hard way when they are exposed to the real world in school and college. So have few but reasonable rules in place and be firm about following them. There is no point losing your cool over every trivial matter. Always listen to the child's point of view if a rule has been broken. The best way to teach discipline to the children is by practicing what you preach. There is no point in insisting that a regular mealtime should be followed at home, but you yourself don't follow it. Similarly, you may be trying to teach the children to brush their teeth at bedtime, but don't follow it yourself. Once you are a parent, you must remember that you have inadvertently become a role model to your children, and they will be observing you and picking up a lot of their behavior from you, which adds a ton of responsibility on your shoulder. You must realize that disciplining should start when the child can understand what is expected out of them. For example, thumb spanking in a baby is a normal developmental process. Hitting the child for doing that at this age will be of no use as the child cannot understand it. Similarly, a small baby will have drooling of saliva when they are teething or even otherwise, and they enjoy blowing bubbles of the saliva. This is again a normal developmental process which will pass. Getting angry or repeatedly saying no will be of no benefit. Although we have to ensure provision of a physically, emotionally and socially safe environment for the child so that their needs are met, nevertheless we cannot become overprotective towards them and must balance the need for safety with the child's need for exploration and independence. Overprotectiveness results in over-control, where parents may control everything the child does, like what to do, how to do, when to do. Parents definitely do this out of love for their children, but they must remember that children learn best from their own mistakes, which turn out to be important life lessons for them. So instead of preventing your young child from exploration, make it a supervised exploration, where the parent intervenes only if the child is likely to run into danger. Saying no to almost everything the child does is not good too, as it takes away the creativity in the child. Similarly, jumping in to help the child in playing with a new toy, solving a puzzle, etc., hampers with the development of their problem-solving skills. You must show consistency when you're disciplining your child. For example, you may be in a good mood and you may laugh at the child's mistake, but on a bad mood day, the same mistake may evoke a slap on your side. Similarly, when you see the child jumping on the bed, you laugh and encourage them, but in case during the process an expensive item gets broken, you may start hitting the child. Or, if a child does something undesirable at somebody else's home, you get angry, but at your own home, you may ignore the thing altogether. These are inconsistencies that can leave the child confused as they don't get to know what is expected of them. Beneath every attempt at disciplining, there should be underlying love. Otherwise, the discipline will fail. The message should go across to the child that they will always be loved by the parent, only an undesirable act will not be appreciated, so child has to avoid doing it. Many times we may be unnecessarily harsh to the child and realize later that they did not deserve the punishment or scolding that you gave them. It happens, after all, we are human. We cannot be perfect always. But in such a case, there is no harm if you accept in front of the child that you made a mistake. This will not be a dent on your ego. On the contrary, the kids will see their parents as humans who can also make mistakes. This sends out a strong message to them wherein they too learn how to own up to their own mistakes and apologize. Parents should never insist on total obedience through beating, scolding, etc. Child is small and will cave in when the parents are being unreasonable, menacing, and not willing to listen to the child's point of view. But in the long run, this kid will feel insecure and may demonstrate a rebellious streak or become a bully to the younger children. Some kids may become too timid, shy, and scared as a result of this. Both types of personalities are not desirable. Parents must have a unified approach to disciplining at home. Children get confused if one parent is getting angry over the breach of a ground rule set at home, but the other parent totally changes the stance and starts disagreeing. On the other hand, it is also not desirable that both parents get angry and stand over the child's head shouting and screaming together. It can be very scary and lonely for the child. In general, if one parent is already expressing anger towards the child on a common ground rule that has been broken, the other parent can choose to neither agree nor disagree at that moment, so that the parental authority is not undermined and at the same time the child is not left feeling totally alone. Thank you and happy parenting. Stay tuned to part 2 of this topic, where I will discuss the principles of punishment.